62b. Daniel, do you have it? 62b in the art scroll. It's Amma Shmuel on the left side. We're going to focus on the second statement of Shmuel. Yitziyah ba'amud hashachar. Using the bathroom, relieving oneself, moving bowels early in the morning, ba'amud hashachar, at dawn, when the first rays of light go in the east. That is very helpful to a person. It's like ki istima lebarzela, like steel to iron. Steel to iron means the way let's say you have a metal, the iron is, let's say it's a thin metal, and then you add some good thick steel to the metal, it really makes it much stronger, makes the item much stronger. So that's so too, that's how beneficial it is for the body. Same way you understand that it's so beneficial when you add some nice thick steel to a metal, to a thin layer of metal, so too you have to understand how beneficial it is for your body, for your physical body, when you go to the bathroom, when you train, what's probably the Gemara means, when you train yourself and you go to the bathroom in the morning, that your body is already trained to relieve oneself, and most probably because now you're starting your day with a clean machine. Your body is like a machine. You cleaned out. Now you're ready to your empty system. All the waste is gone. So that's now. Now the Gemara says, "Bakapara, bakapara havim mazvin." You sent to the group, by the way. Bakapara havim mazvin milei. Bakapara, he would sell ideas. B'dinare. He gave ideas. Good eitzas tovot. Good ideas. Some people sell clothing for a living. And he sold good ideas, had good advice. Sometimes people go to a psychologist to give good advice, and he gave different worldly advice to the people, and people would pay him for his. He was known for that, right? Maybe that was the way he was able to support himself. He was able to go ahead and put food on the table. Ad kafnat echo. When you're hungry, that's when you should eat. Don't wait until your hunger pains leave you, because then the food will not have a great effect on your body as when you ate when you're very hungry. Meaning Hashem gave you hunger pains. He created that for a purpose. Why did he gave you hunger pains? Because he wants you to eat. Because it's a sign that your body needs to eat. And if you don't go ahead and eat at that time, and then you wait until, okay, now I'm going to starve myself, so to speak. I'm not going to eat when I'm hungry. Then it's not. Then I'm going to wait till it leaves. Then the food that I take in later on will not have as positive effect on the body as it would if I would have eaten earlier. Add the stachit should say when you're thirsty, right? You feel you need a drink. Drink then. Don't wait until I don't feel the need to drink anymore. Because again, Hashem is giving you the need, the urge to drink. That's the time that's when you need to drink, and that's going to be beneficial to you. This is a mashal, when your pot is boiling pot, then you take out the food from the pot into the plate, and then you go ahead and eat it. But you don't want to wait till it cools down. While the pot is steaming hot, that's when you should go ahead and what does that mean? That also means that that's a mashal. When a person feels the urge to use the bathroom, he feels the need to move his bowels, he should not delay going to the bathroom, which is symbolic of when the pot is very hot with the food. Ella, go to the bathroom right away. So this is independent of the halacha of you're not supposed to delay going to the bathroom, but it would seem that from a medical perspective, so these three things would seem to be advice from a medical perspective of how a person should go ahead and conduct oneself for his body. Now, I'm going to say a little bit more of the Gemara, and then we'll give a little bit more deeper, a different insight of what the Gemara means. Karna Karya Beromi. Morning, Akiva. Kana Karya Beromi. When you hear the voice, they're blowing a shofar, they're blowing a horn in Rome. What is that? That's a sign? That's a sign they're looking to buy figs. They want to transport figs to another place. That was their common. Seems that figs was a popular item, so the way they would notify people that that the market is looking for figs is they would blow a horn, and then after they blow the horn, the people would go ahead and bring their figs, and there's customers. That means there are customers that are ready to go to another town. They want to export the figs. So come to the market and come now and bring your figs, and you have customers who want to buy figs. That was now bar mizaventeni. If you are a son of someone who sells figs, and your father's not home, if you're going to wait for your father to come home, you're going to lose the opportunity of selling the figs. So what should you do? Then you go ahead, you take your father's figs, and you bring them to the market, because now there are customers. They're leaving. The customers are leaving. They're going out of town to sell the stuff. Don't wait till your father comes back, because in between, the buyers will leave, and your father won't find who to sell the figs to. So therefore, that. I mean, even though you're the son, you're not the father. But your father would want you. What do you say? Right. Even though he didn't ask his father didn't instruct him, but that's something your father would want you to do, because if you don't do it now, who knows when the next time they're going to be making the sound for people to buy the figs. Now, Amalu Abaye Rabbanan. Abaye said to Rabbanan, when you go to the little paths of the city of Mechuzah, the Mepik Bechakla, and you go from these paths and you go to the fields. So there's these narrow little paths of the city, and you go from these paths to these are like the alleyways, the paths that lead to the fields. Lo techazu, lo l'hachkisa v'l'hachkisa. Don't look on the right, don't look on the left when you're going on these little paths, these little roads going out. Why? Dilma yasrin nishay. Some have a text, maybe women are sitting over there using the bathroom over there, because the people would go outside to use the bathroom when people aren't. So we go to the side of the road, so to speak, the road or the path that leads outside. So some say Ger says inshi. Maybe there are men there, maybe there are women there. Because really, whether it's men or women, you're not supposed to be looking. It's not it's not modest for you to see someone in such a situation. Maybe there are people sitting there, and it's not nice to look at them when they're using the bathroom. Right. This is that right. That last thing has to do with modesty, right? Because the Gemara, and then the Gemara was talking about things that are helpful to the body, because we're talking about using the bathroom. Then we spoke being modest in the bathroom. Then we talked about how important it is when you need the bathroom, not to delay using the bathroom. So we connected connected. What's the connection between the figs? I mean, the connection is that when you have something, take advantage of the opportunity. Now is the time. It's similar to the idea of when you feel that when it's an opportunity, the body is telling you something, take advantage of the opportunity. Now, the Vilna Gaon says an amazing thing. He says the following. He says, when he says to eat when you're hungry, means he says, and if you don't eat don't wait till your hunger leaves you and you have no appetite to eat. That has to do with the next world. And it's in a spiritual, it's also a mashal for a spiritual thing. When you have a desire to engage wanting Nathan, just the right time. When you have a desire to engage in Torah study, that's like eating. Torah study is the real food. It's the real meal. Don't say, I'm going to go now to sleep. I'll get up early in the morning and I'm going to go learn. Because maybe in the morning, you're not going to have a desire to learn. If you have a desire right now to learn, you have a desire to eat, that's like a desire to learn. Jump on that desire now, but that inspiration you might not have tomorrow. Look, I will do it tomorrow. I'll learn tomorrow morning. No, because you might not have that inspiration tomorrow to learn. Number two, it says when you're thirsty, he says, drink when you're thirsty. Don't wait till your thirst goes away and then say, I want to drink then. So he says, that's talking about mitzvot. Mitzvot was probably compared to the study of Torah. Torah is let's say the highest level, and mitzvot was probably the second level. So when you have, if you have a desire to do mitzvot, at the moment now, don't say, I will do it tomorrow. Don't say that the same thing, because maybe tomorrow you're not going to have, it's going to go away, that desire to drink, so you have to make sure you jump on it right now. You should know that the Bali Musa, my father-in-law, Rabbi London, said, of blessed memory, that at Bali Musa, when they would learn Musa, morals and ethics in the yeshiva, certain yeshivot, they would learn it, and then they would actually say you have to do an action right away. It's not enough to learn it. You're inspired this moment to do, but you learn something about growth, personal growth, you have to do something. Not that I'm going to do it tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow you're not. This moment when you learn the Musar, you are inspired to take that moment and do something with it. Number three, when he says to pour the pot, when the pot is boiling hot, don't wait for the pot to cool down. Pour from the pot into your plate. What is that a mashal of? So he says that has to do with wealth. That just like a pot, if let's say it's boiling, and let's say sometimes it's overflowing, and because of the boiling, the water is overflowing, and things are flowing out of the pot. Right? You ever see when the pot is overflowing, the heat, the water, and it's bubbling, the pot is overflowing. Whatever you take from that pot, you're not losing anything. There's no loss by taking, because if you don't take from that pot, it's all gonna flow over. It's gonna get lost. So too wealth. When it's in your hand, do tzedakah, do chesed with it. You're not gonna lose. You're gonna say, I'm gonna lose money by doing tzedakah and chesed. On the contrary, because if you're gonna hide your eyes from the poor people, you're not gonna have the money. Strike when the iron is hot. Correct. So that's the first two ideas. When you're hungry, when you're thirsty, you have a desire to do mitzvot, you have a desire to learn, strike when the iron is hot, learn then. Don't say I want to learn tomorrow. Because you have inspiration now, you might not have it tomorrow. The third thing is regarding wealth, the Vilna Gaon says, when you have it, you have to realize if you sometimes people think that when I go ahead and I give this tzedakah, I give a lot of money to charity, I've deducted from my wealth. I lost from my wealth. I gave a certain percentage. On the contrary, the same way with that pot, if you don't grab it when it's overflowing, when the heat is boiling over, it's going to be lost. It's the same thing when you have that wealth. If you don't grab it and take it and use it for tzedakah chesed, it will be lost. That's the Vilna Gaon's deeper understanding of the mashal of the pot overflowing, and take from it. You're not losing anything. Because if you just leave the pot as is, you leave the wealth where it is, you don't do anything with it, it's going to get lost. And the insurance is like it says, if you go ahead and you give them aser, that will help you keep, that's an insurance for your money, to keep the money. Good morning, everybody who's on. Abaye says to the Rabbanan, and also, by the way, the Aruch explains, there's in Rome, they would blow a shofar and they would make the following announcement. If your father sold figs, then you should also sell figs. That it's good for you to keep the trade of your dad. It's a very positive thing, and that will be beneficial for you. And that's how he understood the Gemara. A lot of times people are looking for another trade. But if your father is successful in a certain trade, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You go into your father's business, you could go ahead and he could help you, he could direct you. That's how, according to the Aruf's understanding, a lot of times I have students who their fathers are very successful, and sometimes they want to reinvent the wheel. And sometimes I say it might not be a great idea to reinvent the wheel. You have your father would love for you to go into business. He'll help you, he'll guide you, he'll take away a lot of the financial stress, the financial pressures from you. It's not that he's going to baby you with the fact that you go into your dad's business. Everyone wants to feel that you have to go, make it on your own. I don't know that you have to make it on your own. You can make it you could be big in your father's business. You could build yourself in your father's business. I don't see the need that people, in my humble opinion, have to go ahead and just go separate and do everything separate. That's my personal, what do you say, Mr. Haber? Well, a lot to be said about it. That's true. But I just want to share that. Sometimes you see that they come back, they come back to their dad's business. They start out somewhere, boom, 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 and then they many times they come back. Okay. The Vilna Gaon says the following idea. If you do not know, if you're not on the level to have your own insights into Torah, then say the Torah that you heard from your father. So that's how he understands. Meaning, if you're a son of someone with figs, and you don't have your own stuff, so to speak, you're not on the level of your own insights into the Torah, so sell your father's stuff. Teach the teachings, learn the teachings of your father. Okay, so the Gemara continues. Rav Safra, another story is from the last stories now about modesty in the bathroom. Rav Safra Ola Beitek, he said. Rav Safra went to the bathroom Alter Ravabba. Everybody have it? We're in the Gemara on Samach Beis Samach Beis 62b1. On the right side, towards the bottom. Rav Safra Ola Beitek, he said. You got it, Nathan? Rav Safra went to the bathroom. And what happened? Alter Ravabba. Ravabba came, v'nachale Abava. And Ravabba came, and he knocked on he didn't knock on the door. He coughed at the door. He coughed. That was the way that you notified somebody that you wanted to know if you could enter in, if somebody's there or not. So what happened was, the person would cough. Good morning. Good morning. We are on 62b1 on the right side. 62b1 on the right side, the bottom right, Rav Safra, the paragraph which begins the third paragraph on the page, or 1.5 on the page. Rav Safra Ola Beitek, he said, he went to the bathroom. Ata Ravabba, you have it, Jaime?
Yes, thank you.
Ravabba came, Nachale Abava, and he coughed on the door. He coughed. He didn't speak. He didn't ask if anybody's inside. He coughed to check if someone would respond. And usually the person inside the bathroom would cough back to indicate that someone's in the bathroom. Now, if someone's there, they didn't have these vacant signs in the bathroom like we have today, vacant or occupied. That was the way they would notify each other. Amalei, so Rav Safra, who was in the bathroom, told Ravabba, who was outside, who was coughing, Le'ilmar. He said, come inside the bathroom. You could come in. But the nafeh. So what happened? Rav Safra, when Safra went out of the bathroom, but the nafeh, when Rav Safra left the bathroom, so Rav Abba, Amalei. So Rav Abba said to him the following. So again, what happened? Rav Safra went to the bathroom. And after he went to the bathroom, came Ravabba. Ravabba coughed. And Rav Safra on the inside said, you can come in. And then when Rav Safra left the bathroom, on Malay, Ravabba said, I'm not happy with what you did. I'm not happy that when you were on the inside of the bathroom that you spoke. You should not have spoken. You should not have said anything. Why? Because it's not modest for you to speak when you're in the bathroom. Ad hashta lo ayot l'seir. You have not yet go to Seir. Seir was where Rome. Esav was from Seir, like Seir, like from the language of hair. Most probably that's why it was called Rome or Seir, where Esav was a very hairy person, so the place was called Seir. At Hashalai, you haven't gone to Seir. You haven't been yet by the Romans in their town. But yet you're acting like them. You are being immodest like them. You should not have spoken while you're in the bathroom. What should you have done? You should have coughed or made some other sound, but not speaking. That's his criticism to the rabbi who was inside the bathroom. He says he criticized him. Why did you speak? You should not have said. What did he say? He said 2 words. Come in. What is now? Lav hachitanan. Didn't we learn in the Mishnah? We learned in the Mishnah. Medura hayta sham. There was a fire. There was a bonfire. This is by the Beit HaMikdash, in the area by the Beit HaMikdash. Some part in the area, the courtyard, or wherever they had a fire. Beit HaKisei shel Kavod. They had a bathroom, an honorable bathroom. Now, what does it mean? They had an honorable bathroom there. The way they say this was in the portion of the Beit HaMikdash, it's called the Beit HaMokad, which was a place of fire. So they had a fire there for the Kohanim after they went to the bathroom. And if Kohanim weren't wearing shoes, as we see the Kohanim take their shoes off when they do Birkat Kohanim here, the Kohanim weren't wearing, you don't wear shoes in the when you go to the Har HaBayit, we had in the Mishnah, you enter the Temple Mount, you don't wear shoes, and therefore their feet could be cold. And after you go to the bathroom, if one moves their bowels, they have to go to the mikveh. So after coming out of the mikveh, your feet are cold. So what did they have? They had a bonfire to warm up the feet of the Kohanim. We don't want the Kohanim to get cold. Like the Gemara says, colds are very self-inflicted. If you go out without a coat, you could get a cold. So if you're cold, so therefore they had this bonfire in this area so therefore the Kohanim could cool off their feet. But there was a bathroom nearby that they had just used, and therefore they needed to go to the mikveh, and therefore needed to cool off their feet. But the bathroom was called an honorable bathroom. What made the bathroom a bathroom of kavod? What made it a bathroom of kavod? Zel kvodo, because because it had a door. It had a door, and if you find it locked, if you see the door is closed, therefore you know that somebody's inside. And if the door is not closed, you didn't have to talk and ask somebody. You didn't have to say anything. You didn't have to make any sound. You could just see the door and see if the door is closed. That was a sign that somebody's there. Mutzol na'u, if you found it closed, having a door is in those days, having a door for a bathroom is an honorable, it's an upgrade, a high standard of living, having a door and a bathroom. And Mutzol na'u b'yodua sheisham adam. We're on 62b2. If you found it locked, you know there's a person there. Mutzol patuach, if you found it open, b'yodua she'ein sham adam. You know nobody's there. And therefore, you don't need to make any noises, any sounds to find out if anybody's there, because you found the door open. If it's open, it's obvious there's nobody there. You can walk right in. If the door is closed, then you know somebody's there. So we see Almo lav urachara. And the reason is because it's not proper that the person inside the bathroom should speak. It's not derech eretz. It's not modest to speak when you're in the bathroom. So why did you speak? That was the criticism that Ravabba gave to Rav Safra. Why did you speak? Even speaking 2 words. How do you like that? So according to this Gemara, if someone's in the bathroom and somebody calls them, they could just make a sound, knock on the door, cough. Don't speak when you're in the bathroom. So that's what it seems from the Gemara. So the Gemara says, what was he thinking? Why did he respond by saying something? V'hu sava mesukanu. Ravabba thought, Rav Safra, who was inside the bathroom, thought that the rabbi outside might be in danger. And since he was in danger, therefore he spoke. Because what is he going to say? If he's going to cough, so then the rabbi is going to think not to come in because he coughed. So therefore he goes, no, come in. Because now why did he do that? Why do you think the rabbi outside was in danger? Because the Tanya, Reb Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, Reb Shimon ben Gamliel says, Amud hachozeh. If a person forces himself, not when he needs to move his bowels, and he forces it not to come out, and he holds it back, or some say when it started going out the bowel, and then he made it go back in, so to speak. Maybe it's Adam the day hadrokan. When a person delays the moving of the bowels, it brings certain type of sickness, hadrokan. They translate the hadrokan as dropsy. It brings a certain type of sickness. It causes the stomach to swell up. And sila hachozeh, if a person is supposed to use the bathroom and urinate, and he goes ahead and he delays that, so maybe it's Adam the day hirukan. It brings the person to jaundice. And since it brings by delaying the bathroom, by not using it, so the rabbi inside felt that maybe the rabbi outside it was reached this level that if he wouldn't come in, it will be delayed. If he'd be delayed, it will be not healthy for him. So therefore, he wanted to told him you could come in and enter. But in general, when that's not the situation, you should not be talking anything. Now, also Rabbi Eliezer, now the Gemara, interesting story. Also Rabbi Eliezer Olabeit Kisei. Rabbi Eliezer went to the bathroom, and because what happened was he went to the bathroom, and Asahu Ramah. There was let's say a certain Roman guy came, non-Jewish person, Dachke, and he pushed Rabbi Eliezer off the place where Rabbi Eliezer was sitting. Let's say they had a place set up, a bathroom, whatever, like I had the Gemara before, there was certain bricks, a place the proper place, like a stool that we have, like a toilet seat. So what happened was the Persian guy, the Roman guy came in, and he pushes the rabbi off the bathroom, off the toilet seat, and come Rabbi Lazar and Rabbi Nafak. So the rabbi went and he left. And what happened? He didn't want to stay inside over there when the guy was using the bathroom. And in the Yerushalmi it says, Rabbi Eliezer said to himself, why did this happen? Here I am, I'm using the bathroom, and someone comes into the bathroom and he throws me out of the bathroom. Now he understood that everything has a reason. So he says, it's definitely not for naught, and I don't want to. I want to see what's going to be. Something's going to happen here, and that's what he said to himself. I'm not going to leave until I see what's going to happen, and we're going to see what happens. It's like Esther. Esther becomes queen. Why did Esther become queen? Esther did not become queen for no reason. Esther became queen because you have to be there, because there's a purpose for you to be, even though you don't want to be queen. She's a Jewish woman. She's a Tzedeket. She didn't want to be taken into the beauty pageant. She was taken against the will. She didn't sign up for the beauty pageant. She's a great Jewish girl who wants to go to a beauty pageant with a non-Jewish king. But obviously, this is part of Hashem's plan. So he understood that also. This is part of Hashem's plan. Why am I being thrown out of the bathroom? And it's also disgraceful. In the middle of the bathroom being thrown out. He knows there's the reason. So what happened? Ata Dirakana. A snake came, Shamdela Karkashe, and he took out, he went inside the body, the body of this Roman guy who was in the bathroom, and the snake pulled out a piece of the inside of the rectum. He ripped out the Roman's rectum and he killed the Roman. That's what happened to the Roman. Now, obviously, the rectum is the place where person you go use the bathroom, and therefore that was Hashem punished the guy for being so disrespectful, taking someone off the bathroom, and you went ahead and you took the guy out of the bathroom. So Hashem punished the guy in the. Hashem has many habei shluchim lamakom. There are many ways that Hashem has many messages. He has the whole world at his disposal. And therefore, here the snake is one of the things that he used at his disposal to go ahead and to give punishment to this Roman who acted in such an inappropriate way. Yes. Right. Exactly. Like Daniel said, maybe the point was if the snake would have been there, it would hurt Rabbi Eliezer. And now, but the fact that Rabbi Eliezer, but now the fact that the Roman took him out of the bathroom, he wasn't there to hurt Rabbi Eliezer. He was there to go ahead and he killed that Roman. But again, also we mentioned before in the Gemara, the Romans were not modest when it came to the bathroom. So here's a lack of not modesty. Guys usually in the bathroom, you go and you pull them out of the bathroom. That's a lack of modesty. Illustration of the Roman thing. You know, this reminds me of the famous story with the snake of Rabbi Akiva's daughter, right? The famous story. Rabbi Akiva's daughter, the astrologer said that the day she gets married, she's going to be killed by a snake. I think that's what the astrologer said, the day of a wedding. Rabbi Akiva heard that. Now we know we ain't Mazal Yisrael. We have the ability to overpower the Mazal. But you need to do something to knock out the Mazal. Meaning there is such a thing as Mazal. There's such a thing as, but your davening and mitzvot, those good things to break the what? The Mazal. Rabbi Akiva knew the report, what the astrologers say, but we're not going to pay attention to the astrologer. She got to get married. So what happens is, the day she gets married, everybody's busy. The day she gets married, she takes off her pin from her hairpin. They have these nice iron metal pins in the hair, and she stuck it in the wall. And there was a poisonous snake in the wall, and she killed the snake. Unintentionally, she didn't know. She was putting her pin in the wall, and what happened was happened to be a snake, a poison, and she killed the snake. And after that happened, they tell Rabbi Akiva, look, they found that there was a deadly snake. Look what happened. It was killed. So he asked his daughter, what did you do special today that you merited that you killed this the snake that you see? Yes, there was this mazal that the snake should go ahead and danger, but she was able to overcome that mazal. What happened? What did you do special? He knew something special she hadn't done. He said, you know what happened? Everybody's been busy getting ready for, the pictures. They didn't have pictures back then, but getting the hair ready and getting the makeup ready and getting whatever, the perfumes. A poor person came. By, and everybody was busy. And I went ahead and I gave the poor person some food. So then Rabbi Akiva says, so we see from this, tzedakah tasil mimovet. Tzedakah prevents from death. That was one of the, that might have been the case that he learned it from. That was one of the ideas that Rabbi Akiva said. So that was just another story about the snake. Here, that was the snake being again. Hashem has his plans, how the snakes are used and everything is used. Okay, so the Gemara continues. And then Rabbi Eliezer said, and when this happened, yes, what did he say? But Rabbi Eliezer saw what happened. He saw that what happened to the guy, and that the guy got killed. the Roman guy, Kari Allah Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Eliezer said about this story, the pasuk that the Navi, that the prophet said to the Jewish people in Yeshaya, V'ani ahavticha, I love you, ve'eten adam tachtecha, which means when the Jewish people get Hashem angry, but Hashem does not take his anger against the Jewish people, rather he will take this anger being upset at the nations of the world who do bad, who deserve it of being punished. And al tikri adam, so the pasuk, don't read it. Ve'etein, not I'm going to give. When I love you, and I'm going to place a person instead of you. Adam could also be read Edom. Adam, Aleph Daled Mem. It could also read it Aleph Daled Vav Mem. I mean, it doesn't have the full letter. Many the words in the pasuk, they don't have vowels, right? And when we write the Torah, Nevi'im, Tuvim, there's no vowels, right? But how do you read the word? To read how does the Baal Koreh know how to read it? What the Masorah, what tradition is. And the reason why there's no vowels is because if there would be vowels in the Torah, then it would be very limited how many different ideas are in that pasuk. But if you have one word and you could read that word 5 different ways, there could be 5 different messages alluded in that same word. And therefore, that's why it says, Talmidei Chachamim Mar Mishalom B'Olam, Al Tukei Bonayech Ela Bonoah. That means that's the end of the Masechta, by the way. That you can have one word, that you can have many, many meanings. Hashem is so deep, the depth of the Torah, but the fact that it doesn't have, the reason why he gave it without vowels in the Torah, you see any vowels? The Kamat, Patach, there's no vowels in the Torah. It's blank underneath, because there's many, many ideas that are within the same word. So here you have a word, Adam, but you could also be read Edom. And that Edom is there, and that's what the Edom Tachtecha. Hashem says, I'm going to go ahead, instead of punishing the Jewish community when Hashem's upset, he's going to punish the Goyim for what they did wrong. And therefore here also Hashem gave the Edom, this guy, this Roman, instead of punishing Rabbi Elazar, this Roman was punished. Now, the Gemara is going to bring a story now from Tanakh about it, in the Tanakh, about the great reward for being modest in the bath, being modest again in the bathroom, how it saved Shaul HaMelech's life. The pasuk says, as you know, Shaul was running after David, but Shaul, while he was running after David, he needed to use the men's room. So he entered into a cave, and the cave that he went in to use the men's room, David HaMelech wanted Mr. Feldman. David HaMelech was hiding in that cave. That's for David HaMelech. And Shaul had no idea that David was in that cave. And now David had Shaul. Shaul's vulnerable because David could just kill him, because he doesn't know I'm here, but I know he's here. And he's alone in the cave. And by the way, David gives a lot of, he's going to give Musa to Shaul's people. How do you leave how do you leave him so vulnerable? That there was, you didn't maybe check the cave better or whatever it was. David says, how do you leave your leader so vulnerable? So what happens? But David did not kill Shaul. What did David do? He cut the corner of Shaul's garment. He cut the corner of Shaul's garment to show Shaul that I could have killed you. The same way I cut the corner of your garment, I could have killed you. But I didn't kill you because I'm not interested in killing you. I'm not out. He wanted to tell Shaul, I'm not out to kill you the way you think I'm out to kill you. You're being mistaken. And that's what he showed. And the pasuk says, and by the way, that's how we're going to see in the Gemara also. The Gemara is going to discuss the fact that he cut the garment. The garment he was later on in life, David was not able to be warmed enough by his normal clothing. Because he cut the garment, in a certain sense, it's not a respectful act to the garment, because you cut a garment, a beautiful garment of the king. So now David had problems to becoming warm. The garments did not have the ability to warm David when he became older in life. So therefore, we see also from there how you have to respect items, respect things. If you don't respect it, it's not going to be able to be used for you. If you don't have respect for the garments won't be able to have benefits for you, and so many other things in life. We'll continue tomorrow more about this fascinating Gemaras. Have a great day, everybody. Thank everybody for being here.
Thank you.
Morning, Yosef. Morning, Jaime. Morning, Yosef Tzadik. Morning,
Rabbi, thank you. Baruch Hashem for everything,
Yes.
We just went through a very rough Shabbat weekend, We had no.
What happened with the snow? What happened? What happened to you with the upstate? What happened, Yosef?
Ice freezing storm with the wind that always got
Morning.
froze from the rain.
What happened?
They got so heavy, a lot of hundreds of thousands of trees fall down on the power line.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Repair all of them.
Okay. Okay. Thank God you're all right.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, like it was unbelievable. Like anyone that you speak to that live here for like 100 years, even, said they never see something like that before in their life.
What, so many trees falling?
So many trees and everything frozen. Look.
Oh, everything frozen. That's.
Look at this. Look at this. Wait. Yeah. You see the ice on the trees?
Yes.
So imagine all that weight on tree, just make it fall. This tree, for example, next to me was much higher. It just the weight, it's only because it's laid down on the coop.
Yes.
It didn't crack,
Yeah. Wow. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. I'm telling you, so many trees fall down. Like, look at the tree over here. Look at this. You see the tree, how it's bent down, all the way down from the weight?
Right there, you too. Yeah. I'm going to the NYU. Thank you, Kiva. Wow. Okay, everyone.
You could stand outside and you can hear the trees snapping.
And then all from the heavy ice, you're saying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
It was never been seen something like that. It was like the perfect storm, what we call the combination of raining, heavy raining, freezing temperature, and wind all together, caused the perfect storm we were the center of the heat of the storm,
Where was this? This is Woodstock or this is Tannersville?
Ulster County. Yeah, it's Woodstock, but Ulster County. Like up in Turnoursville area and Hunter, there was nothing. They didn't get hit at all.
Oh wow.
They got the frozen temperature before the rain came. You know what I mean? So there was no raining for them. There was snowing for them.
Right.
Look at this, Rabbi. Look at this. You see the tree? Look. Unbelievable. It's like a Christmas tree.
Morning. Look, good to see you. Is that Nisim's brother? What's your name again? Remind me. Oh, Panama. Welcome. Yeah, thank you. Good to see you. Welcome back. Morning, Booker too. Okay, Yosef, you should be well and upstairs. They're praying upstairs. Yeah. Good morning.
Okay, Rabbi. Have a good day.
Have a great day. You too. All the best.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.